what we got here? Right. This is spare parts and clothing, toiletries, razor. The problem is trying to keep the weight the same between the different bags. The other thing is, what do you need access to and what are you never going to need? Hopefully tubes for the tires, never going to need. The drone here pack's pretty small. That you'll need access to on the road. The problem is, I gotta take the cover for the bike with me, figure out where to put that. This is gonna be in the tail bag.
So what's in that? What's in that bag?
The laptop and clothing packed into a packing cube. And the curved clear visor also fits here so that it's not strapped down here. So that's why it's hard there. Cables, chargers, that kind of thing. The camelback, we'll fill that with ice. And one trick is that I keep the spare keys for the bike in here. So hopefully I never forget this, but there are a spare set of keys right here.
So when you park up in a hotel, what stays on the bike?
So what stays on the bike when I park up will be basically the whole harness, this Y-shaped piece. These come out. How easily they go back in the next day, I don't know. But then I want to cover the bike at night. You'd have to be a pretty shitty person to steal anything off a bike that's traveling, but you know, I got pretty good faith in people, but you never know. So, but we will leave the harness on there. If this gets stolen, we're going to need a lot of rope to tie these bags down.
And how much does it all weigh, do you think?
Right now, this, more than 50 pounds. Definitely more than 50 pounds. And I don't see a way to reduce what I'm carrying. It's kind of minimized already, and already I've filled up the bags.
So the plan, as much as there is one, is to take a Honda CRF300 Rally and head in one direction from LA, and that is north. And we'll see how far we get. It's gonna take a while. The original plan was to head to Vegas and then go north from there, but it's 115 degrees in Vegas, so I ruled that out. I-5 and the 101 are ruled out too quick, so we're heading on Route 14 up to Palmdale. And I found a few cool aircraft along the way, including a couple of blackbirds. I always say the hardest day on any long distance trip is the day you have to turn around. But I think the second hardest day is the day you set off. Having to adapt to everything, get used to it, your body's not used to it, you have to get it into your head that you're not going to see home for a while. So yeah, this day was always going to be a little difficult. I didn't expect how difficult.
It's extremely windy. My glove was blown over there, but I can't get off the bike because it will blow over. I'm gonna have to spin this thing around or something. It is extremely windy out here. I wonder if this guy's run into trouble. Yeah, that's how windy it is. I'm almost worried the camera's going to be pulled loose in the mount from the helmet. And we're already down one camera and it's only day one.
Having a long 6 gear is definitely useful for fuel consumption, but it has its downsides in the wind.
With this wind, 48, 49, and that's pinned.
There's also another wind-related issue. At first I can hear crackling in my right AirPod, and I think it's just a bad Bluetooth connection. Then later the left one starts doing it too. What's happened is it's loud enough in the helmet that it's blown out the noise cancelling mics, so no more noise cancelling, and I've forgotten the second pair. This is a problem on the first gen AirPods, not the second one. Now this bike's been lowered a ½ inch and it also has an adjustable side stand, but in my opinion it's still sitting too vertically on the stand, which means I have to eat my lunch standing next to the thing, feeling the wind try and push it over.
Some kind of little dust storm here, just north of Lone Pine.
The final stop of the day is in the town of Bishop in Central California, just south of Mammoth, where I make some adjustments to the luggage.
So day 2, we're heading out of Bishop. It's nice and cool today. Must have been 90 degrees yesterday coming through the desert. Feels like 65 right now. It's a pretty town. Definitely got some money. Definitely exists off the back of Mammoth. But worth a visit.
Today's mission is simple, and I keep repeating it to myself. Don't end up in Reno. Don't end up in Reno.
It's like an alien landscape. I don't know, there's cars around, but you kind of feel like there's nobody else here. I took the sleeves off the jacket, so we just have mesh and armor, and it's actually a little cold this morning. Worse than I thought. I'll have to check what altitude we're at, but certainly we're getting towards Mammoth, so we're getting up there. So today is the first day with the heated grips, the Honda factory grips, 5 settings, works really well, and no aftermarket or secondary switches up here or anything. It's all built into the grip, and I have to say I'm glad I've got it.
Day 2 is a big contrast from day 1 in the desert. Now we're up in the mountains, and our maximum elevation, I believe, was about 8,000 feet. A quick stop for fuel and coffee, and I decide to put the sleeves back on the Alpine Stars Halo jacket, which is easier said than done.
Definitely in Northern California now. That changed quick. Might as well go see what's at the end of the road. So this is Mono Lake on our right. Interesting looking place.
Sure enough, at the end of Cemetery Road, there is actually a cemetery, but there's also a dirt road, so I can get a little practice in. I haven't been on dirt in a while. In fact, the last time I really rode a lot of dirt would have been as a kid on an Aprilia 280 Trials bike. There's another little detour around here that I thought would be fun, which is to take the gravel road out to the western ghost town of Bodie. I don't know if I'm going to go in. Pretty much, if they let me fly a drone, I'll go in. If not, we'll keep on pushing on.
Might not have been the best choice of car to come down here. Thank you. Right. Sadly, and I kind of suspected this was the case, no drones allowed. Big sign on the gatehouse, which is a shame because I was going to try and get some shots. But I guess this does fall within the national forest or national park. Certainly national parks are no drone zones. But plenty more still to come. And the view to the south is stunning. Snow-capped peaks everywhere you look. This is some slightly thicker gravel, go a little quicker. Last time I was here I walked up the hill away from the town towards the mine building, kicked my foot in the dirt once and found a 100-year-old corkscrew. I took it over to the volunteer centre. One woman was delighted and said, "We'll put it in the display case." Another woman berated me for moving something out of position. So I had to explain to her that I did have an archaeology degree and that kind of forbids you from reburying things, I think. Anyway, well worth the visit. Right, back to the road. And we'll backtrack the last 10 miles and then keep going north towards Lake Tahoe. GPS has frozen up and will not turn off. But if we check the ignition, nope, still stuck on. It's the BMWs. Right, just pull the battery. Oh, I love these heated grips. Right. I think we're going to head to Reno to pick up something I forgot. Might be our last chance for a while, so. It's the town of Bridgeport. 600 people live here. Seems pretty busy for a small town. I was trying to figure out what state I was in, but gas here is now $3.80 or something, so we're definitely in Nevada. In Carson Valley. Yeah, we're definitely in Nevada. So this being the first town in Nevada that I've seen, I have some observations. It's very clean. Not that many people walking around. You are seemingly allowed to use your cell phone while you're driving, because I've seen 3 people do it already. So that is something to look out for. Lots of pedestrian crossings. And a few casinos. Yeah, pretty nice so far.
Quick stop in Walmart allows me to replace my AirPods before heading over to Sparks to find a room for the night. And it turns out the cheapest place there is in an old casino. The valets are kind enough to let me park out front for a while. And then I find a spot for the bike that seems relatively secure in the multi-story car park. Seems it's also in the smoking section, judging from the ground. I get an interesting view out the window. I don't do any gambling, seems like no one else does either. And a decent dinner, although a few odd characters wandering around.